Good evening, everyone, and thank you for tuning in to CAN TV, Hotline 21. My name is Jenny Brandhorst, and I'm with Beacon Therapeutic. I'm filling in for our CEO and President, Susan Reyna Guerrero, who had a schedule conflict this evening. And with me tonight is Kailey Clark. Thank you, Kailey, for being here.
Thanks for having me, Jenny.
And we are going to focus tonight on volunteerism. Kailey is an account manager at FGS Incorporated, and she has been generous enough to give her time to Beacon. She's one of the many young professionals who are giving back to the community, and we're grateful for her for that. But before we talk to Kailey, I want to talk to you about Beacon Therapeutic and describe a little bit about what we do and who we are. Beacon Therapeutic has been around since 1968, and what we do is create new endings to disadvantaged beginnings. We've got several programs that I'm going to show in a little bit, but for starters, we've got 4 different locations. We have our business office that's in the Beverly community at 1912 West 103rd Street in Chicago. We do homeless outreach services, and that location is on Southwestern in Chicago. We have 2 therapeutic day schools, an elementary school, which is at our Longwood campus, and also a therapeutic junior and senior high school, which is in Calumet Park, Illinois. Now, for our programs, there are many of them. This is one slide, and I'm going to show you another slide. Like I said, we have therapeutic day schools. We're doing shelter outreach services. We're helping children and teens to get health insurance through the CHIPRA program. We also have early Head Start services, and our Family Assertive Community Treatment program is for 18 to 25 young mothers who have children ages 5 and younger and who are homeless or at risk of being homeless. We also have our Family Homes Project, who that team is helping homeless families find stable housing and affordable housing. And we also have our PATH program, another program that's helping homeless individuals and families find stable housing and get the services they need. And last but certainly not least, we have our intensive outpatient programs where we serve toddlers to age 3, and also our big intensive outpatient program where we're serving children 3 and up through at least 21 years of age. So, like I said, Beacon Therapeutic is creating new endings to disadvantaged beginnings, and we do hope you will visit us on our website at www.beacon-therapeutic.org. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, Blip TV, and we hope you will do that to learn more. And now, I want to get started with talking about volunteerism for Beacon. And as you can see, we've got a lot of things going on, and we need a lot of volunteers like Kailey. So Kailey, thank you again for being here this evening. What motivated you to want to be a volunteer at Beacon?
Well, first I want to thank you, Jenny, for having me, and really to Beacon for allowing me to come on this show and talk about volunteering. I think it's so important, and if we could all just pitch in a little bit, I think this world would be a lot better place. So from a young age, I was really motivated to volunteer. My parents taught me growing up that you got so much more out of giving than you do receiving, and I think that really stuck with me. But as Jenny mentioned, I am a recent graduate, and when I started to get into the professional world, I started to realize how difficult it is for people to find jobs. It was a difficult process for myself, and it kind of recommitted me to volunteering. I thought there are so many people who not only don't have a job, but they weren't given the opportunity to provide for themselves or their families, and I really want to give back and be a part of making this world a better place. So Beacon is just such a great organization, and I really saw the passion from people like Jenny and Susan, who is not on the show today, and it really made me want to get involved and start to be a part of Beacon.
let's, while you're talking, Kailey, I want to put up some pictures of some of the people that we serve so our viewers can get an idea of who you're helping and who you're volunteering for. So right here we've got a family from our Family Homes program, and this is a young lady and her therapist from Beacon, and Brittany with her 3 young children who are in the process here of moving into their own apartment. And you were able to help with different activities, not particularly with this one, but different activities to help families like Brittany. What's that like for you?
Yeah, absolutely. There's so many different activities that I was able to get involved with through Beacon. As Jenny mentioned, there's several different programs within Beacon, and I just want to tell the viewers just a little bit about some of the programs that I've had the chance to be involved in. Some of my favorite events, probably the most memorable one is the Beacon Bash. My first involvement with that organization and group was last year during the 2012 Beacon Bash, and it was a great time because it was a time where we got to socialize, but we were also giving back to such a wonderful cause. The Beacon Bash last year was at Joe's on Weed, and I think, Jenny, is that going to be this year as well?
Yep.
Okay. So that was a really great time to socialize with my peers, but also talk about how we could get more involved with Beacon and how we could give back to our community.
Let's talk a little bit about the Beacon Bash, if I can interrupt you just for a second. So for all of you tuning in, the Beacon Bash is an annual event, and it's a benefit that helps our homeless outreach services programs. And it's, like Kailey said, at Joe's on Weed Street. It's from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. And this year it will be, actually, let's put up this. This is a perfect time for me to put up this event page. This year's Beacon Bash will be July 25th. That is a Thursday. And I'll put this slide up again for you. But like I said, the Beacon Bash is on the north side. We've got other events who are on the south side, but Kailey and a group of her peers help to sell raffle tickets and that kind of thing. And it's, like I said, it's for a great cause. We've got Jim Kerrigan and his family who are hosts of the event, and so many sponsors who give so much of their time to make the event worthwhile and effective and efficient and just fun and a good time for all. Sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to explain the Beacon Bash.
If we could now, I'd like to talk about the garden that a group of my peers and I helped put together for Beacon EHS. And just a reminder that EHS is the Early Head Start program, and it's for children ages 0 to 3 and their families. This program consists of home visits, but it also consists of socialization events that happen at one of Beacon's locations. So what we did for this is we put together a garden. I'm not an expert on Reggio Emilia, but it was started because of the Reggio Emilia way of thinking that people learn from their natural environment. So this was a really great opportunity for us. We got to take a space that was kind of, we'll say it just needed some cleaning up. And so we were able to clean that space up. We built planters where some of the members of EHS are now able to start their own gardens, and they're able to water the flowers every day and just feel like they are a part of making that garden grow. And that was really special for me because it was a Saturday, and thank God it was sunny that day. We got to spend time outside digging in the dirt and really serving such a great organization. And Jenny, if you want to show them
let's put up some pictures and have you describe these pictures that we're about to show of the garden. Hopefully everyone can see that. This is the Early Head Start garden. I'm going to let you describe what's going on here.
So this is really the very beginning of the day. We were just kind of seeing where we wanted to put different flowers, and I don't know if you want to go to the next slide. Maybe we can see...
and there's Kailey herself.
Yeah, we were actually planting planters, and I was so inspired by this garden that I actually went home myself and planted some flowers.
All right, let's see what the next one is. We got quite a quite a few slides to show. So what are you doing here? Painting.
So this was really cool. This was a chalkboard, and they have so many neat things out now. This was actually chalkboard paint. But I particularly like this because I think the kids, it's not too tall where the kids can still draw on it, and that was a really neat part of the garden.
Okay, let's see what else we have. Oh, it looks like the whole group.
Yeah, this was the group. Just part of, again, these are all young professionals who just got together on a Saturday and were able to give to Beacon.
Great. Are these some of your friends? Do you know all these people, or did you meet some new people along the way?
Actually, I'd love to tell you about how I got involved with Beacon.
Okay, let's go back to our viewers.
One of my really good friends from college is actually Peggy Rourke's daughter, and so she started to tell me about Beacon, and she knew that I was really interested in volunteering, and so we all started to meet. I think that we meet maybe once a month, and we just decided, we're all committed to serving Beacon's mission, and although we're young professionals and busy in our careers, we certainly have a couple hours a month to give to Beacon, and I would really encourage other young professionals to volunteer as well, because it's a great opportunity to meet new people, and you meet like-minded people who want to give back, and some of these people have become my best friends, because we're spending time together and we're giving to those who are less fortunate, and it's a really great opportunity to meet great friends.
That's great. And what are some of the backgrounds of the different volunteers who are in your group?
It's interesting. We all have different career paths, and that's what makes this so neat, because it's kind of a place where we can decompress and get away from the busyness of the work life. But I think that actually some of the volunteers work at Beacon. Some of them I know work in athletics. Mikey works at the Sox Park.
Right.
One of the other volunteers is a nurse. So again, we come from different backgrounds, but we're all committed to the same mission, which makes it really great.
Great. Let's see. We might have a couple other pictures here. This is actually some of the Beacon staff at the garden planting. It looks like our early Head Start staff. And one more, Kailey. What are you doing here with organic potting mix?
Yeah, this was, you know what, I think they were teasing me because I was really getting into gardening and I didn't realize how much I liked it. So there must be a few shots of me doing that.
Okay. Well, let me see. Do you have a green thumb?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's great, and we thank you for your time and giving back in the group that you're with, helping out, because it really does make a difference. And again, for those of you who are tuning in, we are Beacon Therapeutic, and we are helping at-risk children and families to find a better future and help them on their way to self-sufficiency. And we've got a myriad of programs that we're doing that. And we're talking about volunteerism this evening. And Kailey is one of our young professionals who is helping to volunteer at Beacon. And Kailey, you had talked about how you got involved in the different people who are helping you. Do you have, you'd said you meet once a month, that type of thing. What happens at these meetings? What do you do?
Yeah, so we just discuss ways that we can help. And one of the biggest things that we rely on is help from the staff. And we kind of decide what is the need and what can we do to make things easier for them. So we also discuss ways that we can create awareness about Beacon. We live in such an age of technology, and it's so easy to get a hold of our friends and let them know, what Beacon is doing. And it's really great that our generation can start to now let people know what Beacon's doing.
And we appreciate that. And again, those of you who are just tuning in, this is a live call-in show. And I think, Kailey, you've got some fans out there because we've got a call now. So let's take a call. Good evening.
Hi, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. I'm very impressed with what you're doing, and I wondered, what are some ways that, besides people volunteering, can they help in terms of resources? Is there any items you need, or are dollars more valuable? What is it that we can do as a larger community to help you?
Well, that's a great question. I'll take this, and if you want to piggyback off me, that's great. Thank you, caller, for phoning in. We appreciate that. The question was, what can the community do to help? Monetary is always good, but also keep in mind we've got families who are homeless and are getting their own apartment. Some of them have never had their own home ever. They are coming from shelters, they're coming from the streets, they're coming from being doubled up in different apartments. It's a bad scene. So they're moving in. Beacon is helping them move into their own apartments. So think about this. If you're moving into your own apartment, what do you need? Furniture, pots, pans, dishes, clothes, cleaning utensils, everything you can imagine. I mean, think of what's in your house or in your condo or in your apartment. That's what they need because they have absolutely nothing and very little means to get it themselves. So Beacon is always looking for those types of items. We call them fresh start kits, and you can visit our website to get a whole list of things that we would need. And thank you for calling in with that question. Where were we, Kailey? Volunteering. We've got some other events that you helped out on, and I would love to put some more pictures up.
Yeah, why don't we talk about
the Wrigley Run?
The Wrigley Run.
That was last year. Got some fun shots of you, and Katie Strand is on the left there, and your boyfriend Mo in the middle. So talk to me about the Wrigley Run.
Yeah, again, this was another really great way to get involved. Runs are always fun, and there's so many in the city, but I was really happy to get involved in a run and choose my run based on Beacon. So this is a run that we did, and the proceeds benefit, I think, various organizations within Beacon. But
this was last April in 2012, and this was down in the Grant Park area, and here you are again with another group of participants for Beacon. And what, did you run the 5K?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Not as fast as some of the other people who ran it, but again, it was a really great way to get involved. It was, I think, one Saturday, and again, volunteering is just so important, and this was such an easy way for me to get involved with the community. Okay,
we'll talk about another event in just a second, but we're talking about being involved and giving back, and this has got to be rewarding for you. Can you describe any kind of rewards or successes you've gained from your volunteer experience, not just at Beacon, but just in general?
Yeah, absolutely. As I mentioned earlier, volunteering has always been such a huge part of my life, and I think it's easy to see that other people are gaining things from volunteering. Through the various programs, they're gaining packages so that they can live, so that they can cook, so that they can clean. But not only that, as a volunteer, I feel like I'm gaining so much more. And it's really hard to even explain because the feeling and the reward that you get from volunteering is so huge. I realized that not everybody was given a perfect start to life. And it's organizations like Beacon Therapeutic that let people create new endings to disadvantaged beginnings. And that's really special to be a part of.
Yeah, and I want to talk about another event that you and your other young professional friends helped out with. This is called the Beacon Baby Buns event,
yeah.
and let's put a shot of that up, and look at this crowd.
This was really fun. Actually, one of the volunteers, Elise, her band sang at the event, so that was really fun to see. Like we were talking about earlier, everybody comes from different backgrounds, and it was kind of fun to see what people specialize in. Like in this case, Elise, she's a great singer, and we were able to see that. And then we were also able to sell tickets to our friends. Our friends love to socialize. They love to have good food and good drinks, and this was a perfect way to get that all in one place.
Yeah, it was definitely a younger crowd. I felt very old at this event, but it was fun. I mean, the singing and the dancing and the food and just the camaraderie and the fellowship. Mm-hmm. It was a wonderful night, magical almost, if you will.
Yeah,
I had a fun time. So thank you again for your participation with that. Our time is going quickly, Kailey, and I've got a lot of things I still wanted to ask you. We got a lot of young people out there who are chomping at the bit to give back. Teens, maybe they're in junior high school, college students. What advice would you give them about giving back or volunteering?
Well, I cannot stress enough the importance of volunteering. Like I said, if we all just gave a small portion of our time, this world would be a much better place. And it is because of volunteers and nonprofit organizations like Beacon that we do start to see changes in our community. As I mentioned before, when I was getting out of college, I realized how difficult it is to find a job, and I really became empathetic to those who can't find jobs and those who are less fortunate. And I would just highly encourage everyone out there to give, even if it's just a small amount of your time. Start with something little. Maybe you're not sure where you want to volunteer. Start with donating. I'm sure we've got like an old pair of jeans in our closet that we don't wear anymore, but somebody could really use those. And I would really suggest just thinking about those things and thinking about the different ways that you can get involved, because there are so many opportunities out there.
Definitely. And while you're talking, if you could expand on this a little more, I want to show some pictures of some of the people that Beacon is serving and that Kailey and other young professionals and other volunteers are helping to serve. Like I said, Beacon has been around since 1968 and helping at-risk children, families, mothers, fathers, all sorts, to get on their way to self-sufficiency and help them to a better life, a new future, creating new endings from disadvantaged beginnings. And like Kailey said, we can't always control how we get our start, but we can control how we're going to handle situations.
Absolutely. And, sometimes you come home from work, especially this being my first job out of college, I'm exhausted, and it's easy to see that you're tired, and it's easy to see that, you feel like you don't have enough hours in the day. But really, what is a couple hours a month to volunteer? Like I said, it's so rewarding, and it's not just helpful to these individuals that you're seeing on the screen right now. It's really rewarding and fulfilling yourself. Like Jenny said, not everybody comes and is given a perfect beginning. I certainly wasn't. And it's through difficult times that you learn how to work as a community. And I just feel so lucky that I'm able to give back. I think that I can never give enough. And I want to keep volunteering with Beacon, and
we want you to keep volunteering.
And I certainly hope that others start to get involved too.
Yes, and thank you, Kailey. Again, we are Beacon Therapeutic. We are running out of time, and I'm sad because I could talk to Kailey for at least another half hour. We've got a lot to say, but just a little refresher. We are Beacon Therapeutic. You can find us on the web at www.beacon-therapeutic.org. We've got 4 different locations, and you can also search for us on YouTube, friend us on Facebook. We're on Blip TV, and as you can tell, we're on Can TV. And we are, as we've said a few times this evening, creating new endings to disadvantaged beginnings. And we've got many programs that are helping us to do that. And before our time totally ticks out, Kailey, please, do you have any final thoughts for our viewers?
Yeah,
We said a lot tonight, but what's the final word?
I guess my final thought would be just volunteer. Seriously, it is so rewarding, and it's such a great thing to be involved in. It can help you network. It can help you meet new people in your community. It can help you to learn about some of the things that others don't have. And I just would really encourage everyone to go out there and volunteer.
Great. And thank you again for being a guest, Kailey. We really appreciate your time, and not just for the show, but all the events you were talking about and the ones coming up in the future. I know you guys are very busy, not just in your professional lives, but in your volunteer lives. So we appreciate all you're doing. Thank you.
Well, thanks for having me.
Yes. And thank you, all of you who have tuned into our show. Again, we're Beacon Therapeutic. And before we sign off, I'm going to show you some upcoming events. We've got our cycling classic, and that'll be at Longwood campus And that's an event not to be missed. There's some very elite cyclists that will go through the Beverly community, and that is on Thursday, July 18th. And of course, we mentioned our Beacon Bash on July 25th. That's Joe's Sports Bar on the north side. And set your calendars for December 6th for Beacon's 21st annual holiday supper, and that is always a fun time. So again, we're Beacon Therapeutic. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you again next Tuesday at 4:30. Thank you.